Oh, need to get that out of the way. Oh no, I feel another one coming. Ooh, there we are. I need to rant about Need for Speed Payback. I'm not sure how long this is going to be. It's just going to be me ranting about Need for Speed Payback because I feel like I've had enough of this game. I mean, ooh. So many of the design decisions, they just hurt. Like, physically, mentally hurt. Just thinking about some of the design decisions in this game and just how badly they just messed up a lot of this game when it came to like all these design decisions. It just hurts my head thinking about it. And oh my god, man, like, geez. I mean, I think I'll tackle the big fish in the water, the cops. I mean, the cops, man, they fucked up the cops three ways from Sunday. I mean, the main problem with the cops in Need for Speed 2015 was the fact that they could not keep up with you at all if you were in a car that had over 300 horsepower. I mean, like, if you have like a very slow car, like in the game, you can actually have some fun with the cops, and that's what I've been experimenting the past couple days. I've been going on to Need for Speed 2015 and just getting a slow ass ride and riding around with the cops. And it's actually more fun than doing bait crates and doing the stupid ass runner missions in Need for Speed Payback. It's more fun than that. I shit you not. I dead ass shit you not. That is more fun than the cops on Need for Speed Payback. It's more fun to go around in 2015 with a slow ass car just baiting cops all night. Like is there something seriously wrong there? Like, that's not what the cops in Payback should be. I shouldn't be going back to the slow ass cops of Need for Speed 2015 to have some police fun, to have some cop action. I should not be doing that. I should be having that on Need for Speed Payback. But since the fact that they introduced these bait crates and all these stupid ass runner missions, like, I'm not having fun with that. That's not fun. The bait crates and those missions are not fun. The most fun I've been having with the police in Need for Speed Payback is taking the RX-7 and just driving around with the cops on there. And even then, bullshit still happens. How is it every time I'm pinned by the cops, they don't seem to bust me until I'm driving away? When I'm actually driving away, that's when they seem to, like, oh no, you're busted. Stop. Like, what the actual fuck? The police in 2015, well, the police in 2015 for the most part aren't that fun because they can't keep up with you. But the police in Need for Speed Payback are not fun. They took the idea that the cops were not like fast enough and literally took that too literally. It seemed that they focused just on that one aspect alone. They just focused on the aspect that the cops can't keep up. Let's do everything in our power to make sure that they can keep up, but let's ignore everything else that made the police fun and engaging in every other Need for Speed game. Like, they took the fact that the police, they can't keep up with you, and they made the police really badass. Like, the cops can keep up with you, they pit maneuver you, they're pretty smart in Need for Speed Payback, but they're locked off to these stupid ass bullshit bait crates, and they're also locked off to these stupid ass fucking like runner missions. Like, the police are not in free roam for some stupid reason. Like, they had the heat system there in 2015, but they just didn't use it in Payback. Like, the heat system is guaranteed to work. Everyone knows that the heat system works well in Need for Speed, where you start off with like Crown Vic cop cars, and in the end you have the Corvette cop cars. And that's seriously what I thought they were gonna do with like, just looking at the Payback freaking police trailer. They had the Corvettes, they have the Chargers, they have the Crown Vics, they have like the SWAT vans and everything. Like, have tiered heat levels. Like, why don't you have that? Like, that is guaranteed to work. Why are you locking off the police to these stupid ass bait crates and these stupid ass runner missions? I don't understand that. Like, I just can't wrap around my head, like, who thought that would be a good idea? Like, oh my god. It just pisses me off every time I'm doing a bait crate or a stupid ass runner mission. I just wish I was doing this in free roam. I just wish I had the opportunity to do what I want in a police pursuit, to get away from the cops, not get to a specified escape zone, escape route, wherever, escape point, where the cops decide, he's too dangerous for us. We better call this off. We better leave him alone. Like, Like, who thought that'd be a good idea? That's not fun. That's not fun at all. That's stupid. That's not fun. Well, you know what is fun? Smashing around a bunch of cop cars throughout the city, then looking for a place to hide, and then getting away from the cops on your own merit because you actually lost them. I don't feel like I'm actually losing the cops. I feel like the cops are just leaving me alone. And that's not fun. That's not fun at all. Like, even in 2015, when you were starting off in the game, when you had a really slow car and you were escaping the cops, actually escaping the cops in a very slow car in Need for Speed 2015, when you're at the higher heat levels, is actually quite challenging. It's actually quite, like, you actually have to try. Like, and even then, you have that sense of escape. You have that sense of achievement in actually escaping the police. The police in 2015 just don't kind of fuck off. Like, they crash. I mean, they crash a lot, especially when taking corners. But in 2015, when the cops, like when you lose the cops in 2015, you actually lost the cops. They didn't just back off. Like, that's not how it should work in Need for Speed Payback. And the fact that the cops in 2015 and Payback are like that, like, they just fucked up the cops again for Need for Speed Payback in a totally different way that I didn't even see imaginable. Like, you shouldn't have on-rails cops. You shouldn't have point-to-point based cops in a game that's open world. Like, I can understand that for games like The Run, which are linear. Like, that game doesn't even have open world because it's a single race throughout the entire game. I can understand cops being, like, linear in that sense, but, like, scripted cops work better that way in games like that. But for games like Most Wanted, Rivals, like, games that are open world, like Payback in 2015, the cops should not be this linear. Like, what's the point of even having an open world if the cops can't even come after you in an open world game? Like, imagine if they come back in Need for Speed 2019, there's no cops. I'm just not even gonna buy Need for Speed. If a Need for Speed game comes out in the future that doesn't even have cops, I'm not even gonna be bothering buying it. Because if they're gonna be taking them out, like, someone asked me this a while ago, like, what would I do if they released a Need for Speed game with no cops? I just wouldn't buy it. Like, I would not. I just go to a different game at that point. Because Need for Speed is one of the only games that comes out where you can actually, like, have cops to escape from. Like, when it comes to racing games, there's less and less and less and less that have cops in them. Like, the only two I can think of that have come out recently are The Crew and Need for Speed. That's it. Forza doesn't have cops. Like, Drive Club doesn't have cops. Like, none of the other racing games have cops. Like, they don't focus on that. The Crew in Need for Speed, and it looks like The Crew 2 is not even going to be focusing on cops. Like, we barely seen any cop action in the game. I hope there's cops in it, but Need for Speed is, like, one of the only games with cops in it. And growing up, playing Need for Speed Hot Pursuit 2, and it being my favorite Need for Speed game of all time. Even though they don't have free roam cops, because that was even before Need for Speed even had free roam, the cops are still fun in that game. You can still lose the cops in that game, despite it being it's not even on rails. Like, every time, like, you're playing Hot Pursuit 2, the cops spawn in different directions, like, different places, and the roadblocks are always, like, set in different places. Like, it's not the same thing. It's not as linear as the cops in Need for Speed Payback are. And that's the thing. Hot Pursuit 2 is a circuit-based racer. It's like, there's a track-based racer, and it's not as linear as the cops in Need for Speed Payback. And that is a damn shame, because that is not how it should be. Now, I know that they're, what's it called? I know Ghosts are, like, with the RX-7 and everything, they're like, hey, yeah, we're gonna take out the, time limit. And so you can go around freely, which is good. I'm glad that they're actually experimenting with this. And, I mean, damn, free roam police, that's something that should have been there from the very fucking beginning. Like, free roam police, like, they nearly had it down with 2015. All they needed to do was bump up all they needed to do. They did all they needed to do. They just needed to make the cops more aggressive. But then they fucked everything up by changing everything. Like, no. Like, and they even have a helicopter in there, but helicopters in there for one fucking mission. Like, what the fuck? Like, and it's even on the front cover as well. Like, there's a helicopter for one mission, and that's it. Like, what the actual shit is that? Like, don't advertise there's a fucking helicopter on the cover if you're only gonna have it for one fucking mission. It's not even gonna be, and it's just gonna be scripted. Like, the actual hell is that? Like, oh my god. And they have rhinos and everything, but again, they're all scripted. Like, It's really fucking annoying at this point, and it legitimately makes me fucking angry that they just did this. Like, they were so close to making like a really good pursuit system, but then they just fucked it up. Like, that legitimately makes me angry as someone who comes to Need for Speed for the police action. Like, one of the main reasons I play Need for Speed games is for the police, and they fucked it up so badly in Payback. Like, I don't even bother going on Payback for cops anymore. I just go on 2015 Hot Pursuit or like any other racing game that did police 10 times better than Payback. Like, I swear, in the most recently released Need for Speed games, Payback has the worst police presence in any Need for Speed game to come out recently. It's even worse than Rivals, and that's something I don't want to say, but it hurts to say that, but it's true. Like, oh my god. They fucked them up so badly just by not, like, restricting everything. Like, oh my god. It's so fucking annoying, and it legitimately makes me fucking angry. Oh my lord. And that goes without saying, everything is so on rails with the police, but it's not just the police, it's everything. The entire game feels way too on rails. And like, oh my god. Like, when you're racing, everything's scripted. Like aside from the enemies, like the people you're racing against, I have a feeling they're scripted, but it doesn't really feel like it. But then you have all the events and stuff. Speaking about cops never come after you when you're racing when you're illegally street racing. The cops never come after you. What the fuck is that? Cops only come after you when you're doing those stupid ass runner missions, or when you're doing a bait crate, or in one of those blockbuster missions. That's the only times the cops come after you, not when you're actually street racing. And like, what's the actual fucking point? It doesn't feel illegal because cops never come after you. Like, they're scripted to come after you during certain races. Not come after you, but they're scripted to appear during certain races, but they're not actually chasing you. They're just chasing an AI around. Like why? That's not good. That's not good. And like, why am I really ranting about this now? It's because, like, I can't really change anything about that now. Like, that's already pretty hard-coded into the game, the fact that everything's really fucking scripted. Like, I'm just saying this for warning for the next Need for Speed game, because the next Need for Speed game, they best not even try this stupid scripted bullshit, because honestly, it's fucking retarded. Like, the fact that the fucking police, like, are so scripted and are so just locked off to these bullshit bait crates and these stupid-ass retarded runner missions, it's just really fucking retarded. Like, oh my god, just don't even do that. Just bring back the heat system, bring back free run police. Like, that's all you needed to do. And, like, you already had the fact that the cops were actually badass. You actually had that. But the bait crates and everything else, it's just fucking stupid. That's just fucking stupid. That's fucking retarded. And, yeah, like, you just can't get around that. Next Need for Speed game, best not have this fucking stupid-ass free run. Best not have the stupid-ass bait crates. And they better not have the stupid fucking, what's it called? The runner missions. And speaking of, like, runner missions and having everything, like, fucking, like, spread out with different car classes, don't do that shit either. I mean, like they did it. They did this thing with the off-roading. You had drag, you had, like, drift. Like, just keep it all one class. Just like, change the physics engine for that type of race you're doing. Like, and also off-roading, like, keep that shit out of a Need for Speed game. I don't play Need for Speed games to go off-roading. I play Need for Speed games to go street racing, alright? Like, off-roading, nah, keep that shit to dirt. Let dirt do that. Like, I don't like the off-roading, no, that shouldn't be in a Need for Speed game, alright? What they need to focus on in a Need for Speed game is illegal street racing. And they failed with that in Payback. Like, the racing does not feel illegal, and there isn't enough actual street racing, in my opinion. Like, there's a lack of everything. Like, they spread out everything to the point where they're putting so many eggs in all these different baskets that in each basket there's, like, not enough eggs at all. There's, like, 3 eggs. Like, they have all these eggs, but then they're just spreading them out to the point where it's all lacking in each basket. Like, that's not how you should be doing things. Now, then again, you shouldn't be putting all your eggs in one basket. You should be able to, like, go out and, like, spread and, like, do different things. But at the end of the day, if you're spreading out too many, it just feels like there's a lack of content. And that's how it feels with Need for Speed Payback. There's not enough racing. There's not enough like drag races. There's not enough of anything really in Need for Speed Payback to satisfy you. Like in 2015, there was plenty amount of illegal street racing. The game felt illegal as hell. And that's the feeling that's lacking from Need for Speed Payback. And the fact that they spread everything out with these different car classes, nah. Like, just keep it all one class, please. Like, really. And it just, like, you can get all these cars, but you can't do a lot with them because everything's so spread out. There isn't enough events for anything. Like, and that's just a shame. Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, you know? Like, that just really does not strike a chord with me at all. Like, these are some of the sins that they need to avoid when it comes to Need for Speed, the Need for Speed 2019, because they fucked up a lot with Payback. Ooh, my God. Especially with the police and the free roam multiplayer. Free roam multiplayer needs to be at launch. I didn't really talk about it really much because they just announced that it's coming soon. But that, I need to talk about that for a bit because that is something they need to have at launch because the game's dead, like, for me. Me and my friends, we don't even play it much anymore because we can't do anything with each other on it. We can't go prat around the fucking city, like, by ourselves because, oh my Jesus Christ. But I'm just glad it's coming, finally. But that's something they should have had at launch. There's no excuse for not having it at launch. I mean, I feel like they've spent way too much time talking about the off-roading and about everything else. Like, the off-roading, the fucking, like, runner missions and all this shit. Like, no, just keep it illegally street racing focused, alright? Like, not this Blackbuster stuff. Like, I can applaud them for trying to go to a different direction, but I don't like it. Just go back to the illegal street racing aspect. They had, like, the vision right there. They had a good idea of what we wanted with 2015, but they just didn't carry on with it through Need for Speed Payback, and it's a damn shame. Like Need for Speed Payback's not a bad game. It's just, like, it's not what we need. It's not what we wanted. Like, and they did so many things to the game that made it, like, even, like, that just brought it down. Like, I would still, if this game had, like, the same direction that it had now, but it had free roaming police, it had, like, the cops were not shit, and, like, all that. If it wasn't on rails and the police were free roam, I'd still be playing it. Like, I'd still be, like, actually playing it, like, right now. But who knows? Like, I feel like they need to really, really just roll back a lot of the shit that they did when it came to designing this game for 2019, because 2019 best not have fucking on-rails cops, like on-rail bait crates, this stupid shit. It best not have that. It best have free roaming police. It best have free roaming multiplayer. It best have the fact, it must get rid of, like, the off-roading, and it best get rid of the fucking, like, cars being, like, separated into different classes. Like, no, just bring that. And when I mean classes, I mean, like, drag, drift. Like, I like the fact that, like, the leveling system, but also all cars need to be able to go 399 as well. Ooh, how long have I been ranting for? 18 minutes? I'm pretty much done here. I need a drink, but that's all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you guys in my next video. Have a good one. I just need a fucking rant. Fuck.